Hello and welcome everyone. I am C.S.Gilmore and this is Subterrain. We're about ready to head out. So, I'm not getting everything researched or built because this is taking forever. And I don't have the patience for it. Reactor status, holding up pretty good. I put a bunch of level 4 reactors in to make sure everything was in order. A few of my guns' defense turrets need to get replaced soon if this game takes too much longer. Everything else is in pretty good order. I've got everything I need. Hopefully everything supply-wise that I need. I came pretty well prepared. Here's my IEVA suit, which apparently you have to have for this, even though my current armor is technically better in my opinion. Like, apparently this IEVA suit or whatever is something special. Shuttle navigation module in place. Fuel in place. Alright. So basically I decided, let's move on with the game. I'm tired of just sitting around waiting. Okay, apparently I didn't need to put the suit on in order to launch, so let's see how that goes. I'm betting I'm supposed to put the suit on though, in order to get the best result. I don't know though. So apparently you don't have to put on the IEVA suit in order to launch. So that's very interesting. But I'm curious whether it'll affect things that I didn't put it on. And in what way will it affect it?
After a short cruise, I made it to Mars Orbital Station. As I approached, a hail request lit up on the screen. A young man in a uniform suddenly appeared. Was he a soldier? Maybe Mars security? He asked for my name, and I hesitated. I am a murderer, after all. His eyes narrowed. His face slowly became a scowl. He was judging my sentence. Before I said a word, he cut the transmission. An ion cannon lined up with my shuttle, firing 2 blasts towards me. The first missed, but the second hit the shuttle square in the portside engine. The explosion ripped the ship in half. A flood of red warning lights swept over the consoles. I barely made it to the escape pod. I didn't even have time to eject. The force of the explosion propelled me away. Christ, I almost made it. Now, I'm aimlessly floating through space. Adrift. Forgotten.
Ooh, incoming. Here comes landing. Okay, sounds more like a crash. Seems like I was out for a bit. The pod still feels like it's spinning. I guess that's a good sign that I haven't died yet. I still remember that man's face just before he shot me down. They must have been waiting up there, but why? And why haven't they sent help? I guess they must have landed. All the monitors are on the floor. I guess I took a tumble on the way back down. I'm a little beat up, but the seat's harness must have kept me from slamming around the pod. According to the diagnostic, life support's been knocked offline entirely. I guess it's a good thing I followed safety protocols. Navcom's displaying on an error. It looks like the pod was trying to get as close to MPO as possible, but it went off course a little at some point due to a mechanical failure. Aw, man, I could use an aspirin. So, So you don't have to be wearing the IVA suit in order to do the launch. Just I don't even know if you need to have it in your inventory. Maybe it says personal life support, so maybe it would keep me alive even if my supplies ran out. But I don't know. I'm not putting that to the test so much. But right now, oh, I'm taking damage. Let me put that on. Okay, maybe there's a glitch. Because right now I'm taking major damage. So I may have to reload in a minute. Right now though, looks like I gotta run around the surface of Mars. Whoops, did I just drop my suit? Because it's not equipped on me, I just noticed that. I think I messed up. So yeah, you take damage without the suit out here. You're on the surface of Mars. Okay, continue save game. Let's try that again, only this time I'm going to put the suit on before I launch. Just to make sure I have it on, and we're good. So apparently, even though I've got air canister and thermal canisters, those don't count for the surface of Mars itself. Good to know. Okay, that experiment is run. Now, let's do this right. I've put the suit on. Big, bulky, nasty suit that I don't like. We'll just skim through. We'll just skip the video so we don't have to watch it again. So I guess you just have to have this suit or you die. Good to know, you do have to have the suit. And it's because you land on the surface of Mars. Once I get back inside, I'll be able to switch back to my normal weapons and armor, I think. Well, my normal armor. I guess I don't really lose the weapon. But I should be able to switch back to my normal armor once I get back inside the station. But apparently being on the outside requires an even more special suit than my highly advanced suit, which is way better than this other suit.
After a short cruise.
Skip. Okay. But basically what happens is you end up on the surface of Mars here, and now I have to find my way back. But I don't find my way back to the place I know. I find a little something extra, and we get a lot more of the story here, I know. And I can't remember what exactly or how much. I have some suspicions, and I can't remember if I ever figured anything out for sure though. So okay, escape pod. Man, this is me running right now. So slow. This is me normal walking. So yeah, this suit sucks. And I have to figure out where I'm going. Infection level 100%. Lovely. Guessing because this place is terrible. Oh, okay, put everything else in there. Probably because I'm guessing this is at 100% infection because the it's outside. Perfect environment for the infection, whatever it is. Man, what a mess. The pod was trashed from the landing and I'm in the middle of nowhere. I can see MPO, but I'm not really sure which side I'm looking at. It's only a few kilometers away, but how am I going to get back inside? I don't ever recall ever seeing an airlock in most districts. But there's gotta be some other way in, maybe an access hatch, or some sort of maintenance area? Not entirely sure, but it looks like there's some kind of structure between me and MPO. It's small though, it's much smaller than any of MPO's domes. It could be some sort of service elevator. I'm not sure why there'd be one this far out, but I don't really have any other options. Worst case scenario, there might be a terminal I can access. Yep, MPO's too far away. Make do with the secondary thing. So apparently that was where I needed to go though. You have to kind of find your way through this maze of rocks. Running a bit blind. But looks like I'm making progress. That looks like my goal over there. I should have to find my way around to it. which I'm not sure how. Unless I missed a turn. Yep, can't go through there. This is going down though, so here we go. I'm getting closer. Because I'm guessing these are bigger ledges and rocks than it appears. Also, I like how the lighting is actually changing. Both here and in the starport, the lighting changes depending on the time of day. Alright, how do I get into this place? Do I literally have to circle all the way around it? Looks like it. Is this a way I can go through? It is. Okay. Cut upwards. Scale light on so I can actually see anything. Alright. This is cool though. Alright. Okay. Is this not the structure I was aiming for? I guess not. Because nothing happened. There was no button that I saw. Can't run anymore. Because I ran myself silly. Don't see any other structure. Oh wait, there it is. So something over there. So that's where I have to get to. Okay, it looks like there's a way up here. Oh, I'm almost there. Wonder what that central structure was. A landing pad, maybe? Okay. Here we go. Oh, this opens. Let's go in. Okay. I should have more than enough supplies to survive getting back to base. If not, I'm kind of stuck then. Wow, what is this place? A corpse was on the ground. I recognized the uniform. Mars Security. Something was different, though. He wasn't wearing the regular name tags most guards do. He might be dead, but maybe his belongings can tell me something. This guy didn't have a whole lot on him, but he did have a badge in his pocket. Mars Security Division is written across the front. Bodyguard, written underneath MPO seal. A bodyguard? Out here? I can't think of anyone else that would need bodyguards, especially here, well, except my old boss, Jeff Murray. This has to be Murray's mansion. I heard a rumor, but it was so outlandish. Secret tunnels, private trams, teams of personnel that worked behind the scenes. It made Murray sound less like an entrepreneur and more like a villain from a secret agent movie. Roskowitz used to brag about being invited here. But no one ever believed him. I guess it wasn't so far-fetched. There wasn't a shuttle on the landing pad outside. He has to have escaped by now. And this bodyguard probably died escorting him out. Whatever this is made it all the way here, too. I wonder if there's anything here that will explain what happened. Maybe I can find another way off Mars. Alright. I'm going to save. I'm going to risk the save. And I'm going to see if I can switch back into my armor that doesn't suck. And I'm not taking damage. So being indoors, I just need that suit for out there. Now that I'm back indoors, we are golden. Okay, let's get... where did that other... I know I had... Okay. Grenades. There. Okay, I think that'll do it. What is this place? Good question. Let's find out, shall we? I thought you just said it was Murray's mansion. I recognize some of these people. Also, I'm in desperate need of metal composites still. Apparently all that building I did burned through my supplies. Really fast. Okay, so the infection's here too. Seems that nowhere on Mars Station got out of this okay. This is cool though. I like this area. Just because New area, lots more secrets and story stuff. Stay back. There we go. Hope there's some new monsters in here. Kind of tired of the same old, same old. Alright, bunch of desk stuff. I can't carry much right now. I'm too weighed down with my survival gear. I guess there's not a ton here I really want to carry around anyway for like, seriously carrying. Nothing I can't work without in some form or another. Oh, that one looks almost different. Can't tell if the other. I don't remember if the others had some spikes on the arms. I definitely saw spikes on that one's arms though. So maybe, just maybe, we aren't done yet with these. Maybe there is more to them than we've seen so far. I'm hoping. Still hard to say. Doesn't seem any tougher. Little alcove. Oh, hi there, guys. You're really in there. That's a lot of monsters. Catch a grenade. Take two, they're small. I have lots. Alright, apparently this place is heavily infested. Okay, let me just move my grenades up to easier reach. There we go. Die. Don't need any more grenade blasts flying towards me, thank you very much. Mansion gate? I don't have a key card for that. That's a specialty key card. Oh. New secrets, alright. Here's hoping we find some good stuff. Come on, die. I don't see anything else in here. Nothing worth grabbing. No story bits. Yeah, nothing. Okay. Moving on. So I can't go through the mansion gate, wherever that would go. Don't imagine it would go outside, since going outside seems like a bad thing to do in this sort of condition. Maybe it goes to a tram. I don't remember how this was all set up. Okay. We were making good progress though. I remember the first time I came and went through this part. Like I said, I'd come here way too early. I was unprepared, and I'd barely made it back. Because I was running out of supplies, power, armor, oxygen, thermal, you name it. My supplies were toast. I was scraping by. I can't even remember for sure, but I think I may even had to have had run from stuff because I couldn't fight everything. I don't recall seeing I don't recall if the mutants were this far around, far along the last time I did that though. Well, regardless. Ow. Okay. Kitchen. Yep, normal kitchen stuff. Nothing new. Doesn't look like the staff really made it out of this place. But then Murray doesn't catch me as the sort of person that would care about the staff. Nice. I like this area though. Very different. I've seen a lot of the same stuff though. Same time. If you want to just stand there in the doorway, catch a grenade. Okay. Nothing. Nothing. Nothing that I want. Nothing that I want. Or nothing that I can take, even if I did want it. Here's something. Clear. Hear a beetle to the left, it sounded like. Well, I don't know what's down here. Got mansion security door 1. Let's clear this door back here. I'd rather not have anything come up behind me. Those things aren't too bad as long as you have place to run. If they get you cornered and hit with those grenade blasts, that's not good. Alright, beetle. Okay. Huh. This is very weird. This is like someone's private quarters? Could be Jeff Murray's private quarters, I guess. That looks like a lab, though. Why would he have a lab? What is up with this place? Murray's phone call. Hello, Dr. West. I've heard a lot about you. Hello, Mr. Murray. Thank you for the invitation. Not at all, kid. So tell me about this research you have proposed. You mentioned you have a way to create nanomachines that can indefinitely inhabit the body. What are you planning to do with something like that? Well, Mr. Murray? Oh, no need for that, kid. Jeff is fine. Oh, sure. Well, Jeff, my wife has a disease. I don't know how to fight without constant maintenance. She has Alzheimer's. Can't she just do ultrasound? I mean, I've done it. Works wonders. Unfortunately, she'd have to be an ultrasound indefinitely. She needs constant maintenance. Nanomachines could solve this in theory, but I can't move past just proposing it. It'll take a lot of money, a lot of test material, and everything about it is controversial and illegal. I'm probably already being monitored just talking about it over the phone. I understand entirely, Dr. West. We can continue this conversation through a VPN link to my Earth offices. Please head over there tomorrow and check in at reception. I think I can help you and your wife. Really? Thank you, Jeff. I'll be over first thing tomorrow. Glad to hear it, kid. Don't keep me waiting. Why would he sponsor me? I mean, this sounds like something that took a lot of resources to, like, for the research. So, why sponsor the research? Unless there was an ulterior motive. Which seems like this guy's sort of thing. But, and what is it? Did he... He said he used ultrasound to treat his Alzheimer's. What if he has the same thing my wife has, like the same degenerative level problem, and so did he try to steal my research to use on himself in order to fight his own issues? And in doing so, perhaps because it was all focused on my wife, Huh, these are all of my notes. West's research is on the front. Everything's in here. They even have the research proposal I sent Murray before he invited me. They highlighted a few things and wrote notes at the bottom. Alzheimer's is caused by neurotoxic plaques they adhere to brain tissue. This is treatable with ultrasound, even for patients at risk. Getting an ultrasound once every month or so can manage the disease. Jennifer, however, is different. She needs to be constantly exposed to ultrasound in order to keep the disease at bay, which isn't possible. Overexposure to ultrasound can be just as harmful as Alzheimer's. Nanomachines are a non-invasive way to deal with the problem. They could directly manipulate plaques that have already formed and prevent new ones from starting constantly without interfering with the brain's functions. I plan to design them to reproduce autonomously. I'm probably saying that wrong. By harvesting carbon and copper from the bloodstream, ensuring that the effect would be permanent. I am confident I can adapt these nanomachines for other diseases and purposes once I'm finished treating Jennifer. Follow specifications are. Specifications? Wait, I remember this. These were some of the last notes I wrote before I was thrown in prison. Something is wrong with the current code. The nanomachines are improperly handling instructions and erroneously mending tissue. Even worse, when there were no plaques to destroy, they tear into other tissue to make busy work. It's time to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to extensively scale back the capabilities of the nanomachines and remove the self-replicating aspect. It's too much. It's much too dangerous, and would be better to re-administer the nanomachines after they wear out should something go wrong. There's nothing of note in this one. Finish the project if you can't. You'll end up as West's roommate. If there's nothing of note in this one. Finish the project. If you can't, you'll end up as West's roommate. R. Roskowitz? I'm guessing is Roskowitz. So they stole my research and then ignored the fact that it wasn't working right and was dangerous. So they created this super virus. I'm just gonna drop some of this stuff. There. They created a super virus because they couldn't be bothered to wait long enough. Sounds like they were under pressure to sounds like the scientist was under pressure to get done on time, probably from Murray. So I'm guessing Murray's condition was getting worse, and he was in a hurry for someone to fix things. So, I mean, this is all just guesswork on my part, of course, but carry some dark connotations as to what may have happened here. So my research got run amok, with some potential alterations were made to it, I'm guessing. Mansion security door, confession part 1. Whoever you are, well, you're the only hope anyone has. Who am I? I'm Murdoch Roskowitz. I'm the man who never wanted to go to Mars, who never wanted to be a scientist, but I've got some daft fingers and a mind for security protocols. And when I see something I like, I take it. I've made a name for myself without a scientific breakthrough of my own. Too bad thieving isn't the answer to this mess. I worked in Herbert Research as a lab assistant, but really what was I doing was scalpel research. What I was doing was scalpel research and selling it to labs back on Earth. Mars didn't have the restrictions Earth did on research, and a lot of researchers came to MPO with the intentions of doing research not allowed on Earth. Albert West was one of those hopeful scientists. He was experimenting on humans with nanomachines to cure some sort of Alzheimer's mutation. I worked with him for months, and saw potential for more than just profit. The effects of one sample were, let's just say, too good to pass up. I conducted a test of my own. I regret that I ever did. I should have never approached Murray. I've trapped that bastard in his own panic room, but I've got a lot I need to get off my chest. So Roskowitz stole my research, or sounds like he made a proposition to Murray, probably suggested that he could take over when he couldn't. And so yeah, he was under pressure to redo everything, to progress my research without me. And he trapped Murray in his own panic room? That suggests Murray's still here. I wonder if Murray's gonna turn into a boss. Because if he's been trapped in his panic room, if he's infected, he could have been, like, it seems the longer these things are left alone, the more they change. Mansion security door. Confession part 2. The main selling point of West's nanomachines was how they operated. These little robots would be injected into a benign location and travel through the blood to the brain. On a mission to remove plaque and rebuild lost tissue, they self-propagated through the bloodstream, harvesting iron and other metals from blood cells to replicate. Self-propagating nanomachines and related research is strictly prohibited on Earth. West's sample was worth a fortune. At first, West was using synthesized flesh and brain matter to test, but he couldn't get accurate data without a living test subject. The robots were overzealous in their object and started breaking down flesh simply so it had something to repair. He scaled back the aggressiveness and limited how often they could replicate. He was taking it in the wrong direction. I could feel the cash slipping out of my fingers. I framed West, swapping a failed sample with his current test samples. It was perfect, except for one thing. He lived. I guess he's a bit more spry than he looks. Luckily, the murder of the test subject got him thrown in prison by Mars security. Murray probably had something to do with that. Now that I think about it, West was locked up tight, so I took the remaining samples and boxed them up, giving them a fancy name, Minerva. Minerva was worth a lot in the hands of someone capable. I thought that someone was me. I can't believe what an idiot I was. Oh, yes you were. Such an idiot. Dangerous nanomachines. Let's play with them. Though it does sound like West could have fixed the problem with time, because he was being careful. The only reason things went wrong was because of the issues with people taking things and sabotaging him, basically. But if he hadn't been sabotaged, he probably would have worked around the issue and fixed it. I mean, it shouldn't have been that hard to fix. Maybe set the nanomachines to only replicate up to a certain number of nanomachines located within a certain area. And if things start going over that limit, then suggesting that some of them broke. Chances are not all of them will have broken down at the same time. Have the other ones, have them set to terminate any that are replicating beyond what they should. Though, of course, that would be complicated as well, but I mean, that would be a control method I could think of. I presented the research to Murray as if it were my own, but he knew I was full of it. He knew why I was on Mars in the first place. I thought he'd report me to the board, strip me of my position in front of my peers, make an example of me, but he promoted me. He said he could trust me now, because now I knew who held my leash. That's the thing you need to know about Murray. He only trusts people he can control. He saw the results and he wanted more. Obviously I wasn't able to do that, and the only guy who probably could was in prison. Murray tasked me to find capable researchers and assign them to the project. Maybe I was lucky that West fell into my lap in the first place, because none of the others even had a clue where to start with self-replicating nanomachines. I don't see why he'd want to push the research further. Anyway, Minerva was good enough on its own to sell. It would have been worth a fortune to various labs back on Earth. These big-shot visionaries can't appreciate a proven business model. Research is something you can get a huge return on if you sell it to everyone at the same time. I was getting paid pretty well, though. Eventually, I stopped protesting his decision to keep it. I was too busy enjoying the luxuries of Mars to care anymore. I was getting what I wanted. Murray wasn't, though. It quickly became an obsession. Murray isn't interested in money. He's already filthy rich, enough to run a place on Mars. So, Murray was after the research itself. That should have been easy enough for anyone to piece together and go, duh. Obviously, he was after this. I'm guessing I'm headed to Murray's panic room? I don't like this. I don't like this at all. There's a lot of dead people here. Should I be worried? I still don't have a gate to the mansion either. Like, a key to the gates. To mansion gates. I don't like this. This rings like trouble. The trap. April 9th. Hector and Nora are missing. Murray said they quit. I'm thinking they're dead. We have a mole, or we're getting sloppy. If it's a mole, they can't be very close to the source. I'm still here after all. We got a new pair of researchers to replace Hector and Nora. Kate and James. I guess they've been together for a long time. They were part of a group with replacements for the other research teams. I'm wondering if the other teams are losing members for similar reasons. It's too much of a risk to ask, though. It's taking less and less time to convince the new people how thin of a tightrope we're walking with all the Minerva test subjects around. Some of the older specimens don't even look human anymore. Murray's been sending out security teams to try to recover a bunch of software for the facilities around Central. He made a pretty angry phone call to Agatha, that old hag I used to work under in Herbert. I guess that witch has gone nuts since her cats went missing. This must be why the members of other research teams went missing as well. Those blueprints were never supposed to go out. I heard Murray call it a security risk when on a call. This is the same guy that's making mutant zombies in labs less than 10 meters away. Unbelievable. We have to make a move. Murray's guards were sniffing around the mainframe's locked door. I was the sole person with access aside from Murray. I can't be caught. I don't have any idea what they'd do to me. Dr. Cameron finished with the hardware for the purification device, but it'll be for nothing by the end of the day. Lassiter agrees that we need to take Murray out, but he says there's no way he'd be able to sneak a gun in, and we'd all basically get executed out of suspicion for collusion. We gotta fake out the security team and make him retreat to his bunker out of fear. After that, we can trap him. Dr. Can finished with that upgrade a while back for Central Control's computer, so everything's in place for the lockdown. I have an idea. Kate and James claim they know how to rig the shuttle's navigation software to be remote controlled via communications. The plan is to have the shuttle take off and crash into the distance, hopefully shaking the mansion. Murray will think it's an attack. His guards will probably go on full alert. It's gotta work. We trap them. Kate and James are dead. The shuttle took off and crashed just as planned, but James must have got caught. I watched on the security feed as he was dragged to the Minerva lab by guards. They shot him in front of Kate. She became enraged and charged at them. 2 guards fired on her as she did, breaking a bunch of test samples of Minerva in the process. Bits of the samples went everywhere. The classic Resident Evil virus unleashment. Guards doing stupid stuff and breaking things that shouldn't get broken. Murray wasn't fooled by the crash for very long, so Dr. Cameron stalled him inside the sanctum, claiming he saw Earth soldiers storming the halls above. Murray spooked. This bought a few more moments while I activated my hash cipher. I didn't warn Cameron, though. I had no choice. Murray had to be contained. Dr. Cameron got stuck inside Murray's sanctum with a few of his assistants. It was quiet for a little while. I even heard some chatter. Shortly after that, though, I heard screaming and monstrous noises. I thought Murray was dead, but then I heard him over the door's intercom, asked to be let out. It was like nothing had happened. I didn't answer the intercom. I've shut the doors leading out of the basement for now. I can hear people screaming through the walls. It's happening. I'm all alone. Oh. So yeah, it sounds like the virus took to Murray in a different way than the others, perhaps. Oh. Okay. It has a basic oxygen filter. But okay, I didn't expect that. At least it's not broken, it's working. So that's why I'm not burning through my oxygen. Okay. And my thermal must be in here and it's working. But yeah, I didn't have the necessary stuff here to upgrade this. Though I don't know if it would matter. Infection level 0. Okay. It says, so does that mean I wipe this place out? Okay, that's weird. Floor 1 is outside, floor 0 is the main floor, and floor 2 is down here where I am. But it sounds like Murray's still trapped in his escape room or whatever. And it sounds like he's not himself anymore. But I'm just going off guessing here, because I don't know. This is stuff I don't know. Mansion security door. Purification and confession part 4. Confession part 4 first. As it turns out, West's work was more precise than we had realized. He wasn't designing this with eventual profit in mind. He wasn't some philanthropist hoping to cure everyone. Minerva was specially tuned to his own wife's particular case of dementia, which was apparently slightly abnormal. As a consequence, Minerva would never be fully effective on anyone else, not in this state at least. It seemed pointless to develop it further, but anyone on the project's team that questioned Murray would be reassigned shortly after. I kept my mouth shut and my head down. I figured I'd rather pursue a pointless cure than end up in a cell like West. For weeks we continued to test new samples in vain, fully aware that there was no end in sight. Murray eventually realized he was out of options. He had to bring Jennifer West to the colony to continue the project. He brought my wife here. Things quickly got out of hand after she arrived. Murray had begun intervening personally, addressing Minerva on his own. The new samples were much different from the ones we were working on. The new samples caused test subjects to rapidly mutate, destroying and creating new flesh constantly. This new form of life is perfectly suited for Mars, having no need for respiration and requiring minimal caloric energy to function. That's just the beginning, though. From what little I actually understood from our test sample data, the flesh comes back stronger with each regeneration cycle. These creatures were not sentient, and they were more like beasts than humans. Murray kept mumbling his own term, though. Martian. The rest of the team and I began to countermeasures behind his back, but it was way too late. He'd been planning this for some time. The best I could do was trap him in his panic room until someone could take him out. It doesn't make up for what I've done. I just pray that he doesn't eventually figure out a way to get out. What happened to my wife, though? Sounds like she's being used as test subject 0. I hope I don't have to kill my wife. Hopefully she hasn't been turned into a ravening monster that I'll have to destroy. Purification. Murray's been tuning Minerva to colder climates and environments with little to no oxygen. Now, that, I don't know why he's doing that. Is he trying to make himself immortal? That could be it. Sounds like Murray's definitely cracked. He's bent on something. He says it's to cut down on oxidation damage and overclock the nanomachines without risk, but I don't understand why. Minerva's for living things, after all, and I sure like breathing and being warm. He won't even let any of us touch the AI software anymore. The rest of us on the Minerva team are stuck with test sample reports with the occasional request to support the other research teams. My team knows what Minerva can do, and that thought he's changing it behind closed doors makes us uncomfortable. One day Minerva will be too difficult to contain. We've been working to battle Minerva during off-duty hours. We're in between our tasks during the day. We discovered that if we broadcast interfering signals on the same frequencies that the nanomachines communicate with, we can dampen Minerva's rate of spread and evolution. It won't stop it, but it's something. We've poked around the system. The system's in the basement, and Dr. Cameron thinks we can modify the noisy mainframe there to monitor the situation with some modifications. He thinks in time we can use the mainframe to collect communications data in order to sabotage the replication and cause self-destruction. I guess it's up to me now. The only way purification will occur is if I can manage to pull this together. I'm not so sure I can. Man, this is intense. Like, I hope you guys are appreciating this as much as I am. Like, all this waiting for story, and here it is. We finally get the story. Well, okay, let's go in there later. 1 second. First, let's check this room. This must be the panic room. Whoa, it's the size of an airlock. There's a few sticky notes near what I'm guessing are the controls. The first note is near a throw switch. The writing is sort of sloppy and smeared, but it's legible. The gate won't get power unless the power console at Central reports all contaminated and Minerva samples. The second note was near the first, near the off light. The writing is more sloppy. Begin data collection via terminal and use equipment in Nilsson to produce prototypes. Install in all auxiliary locations that have contamination. Another note was stuck by the lower half of the previous one. Ensure constant power to prototypes to allow upload to RAID 0 storage once finished. Prototype transmitters will activate and transmit. It will take time for this. The last note is barely hanging on the right side of the console. There are some raised indentations on the note. They can control the others. They can't get out with these roaming around. It would end everything. They can control the others. They can't get out with these roaming around. It would end everything. There was some writing on the back. Please tell Serafina and Longin Raskowitz that Murdoch says he's sorry. They can control the others? I am betting Murray had the same condition as my wife. And so, with the mutations effects, I wonder if he turned my wife and himself into master control monsters. But if he did that, if I have to kill my wife, I'm going to be ticked. Okay, that's a save point. This switch won't work. So it looks like I have to do stuff elsewhere before I can get into there. Alright, we've got... This machine's humming pretty loudly. A loose pile of notes sitting on the face of the console. One of the last things Dr. Cameron warned me about was to not pull the switch until we were ready. Once activated, the purification system is supposed to activate a bunch of receivers and transmitters around MPO. This should collect the data we need to develop our countermeasure. But this process effectively functions as a signal booster. Cameron's very sure that this would speed up the spread of the Minerva throughout the colony. I can't even take a look at one of those things, and the thought of creating many hundreds more at the flick of a switch terrifies me. It doesn't end there. I have to get these new oxygen filters and thermal regulators into the oxygen and thermal generators in contaminated districts. The current communication systems we've hooked up to collect data wouldn't be able to transmit the signal everywhere, so our solution is to hook up these special filters and regulators life support systems using the connected piping and ventilation as antenna. A few districts are unpowered at the moment. It looks like the reactor is losing power, which is concerning. That'll be an issue if I'm going to keep those transmitters powered at the same time. It would probably take around a day of simultaneous operation to allow a complete upload to all the filters and regulators. Oh god, I thought I heard something. I hope none of them are waiting outside. I need to collect supplies if I'm going to do this. I'll need to head back up to the lab. April 18th. I couldn't make it out past the lab area. I'm sure they're all over the mansion by now. The most I could do was lock the doors. I'm also out of decontamination pills, and there's no way I can make it down the hall without getting it torn into pieces. I can't become one of them. I keep praying that their rescue will show up, and I know throwing that switch would make rescue even more unlikely. I don't know what to do. The reactor is still losing power, but I noticed something even more strange. Central control is still uncontaminated, at least according to the software update I asked Dr. Khan to install. It's probably an error, but if it were truly uncontaminated, that means it wouldn't need a set of prototypes. You can't purify what isn't there. I'm not sure why I'm thinking about this. I'm not going to live long to figure it out. A bunch of sectors lost power due to the reactor's condition. Even if I could get out of here, I'd have to repair the reactor before I could keep all the oxygen and thermal reactors powered while data is uploaded. I have no idea how to repair it though. This plan may be dead in the water. This machine's humming loudly. Key pass, mansion gate. Hefty key card for the gate to Murray's mansion. Fitness tracker. Okay. So this is very interesting. Purification data. So if I act... Okay, I think the gate leads to a tram which takes me back to Central. But... Activate purification. Wes will not be able to turn it off once it is activated. Do it. After I pulled the switch, I noticed another note on the ground near the side of the console. It must have fallen. There's no way I'm making it out of here. I made up for my mistakes. Murray and that freak are stuck up until all the contaminated are cleared out of MPO. There's only an out-of-service shuttle left, and it only seems like a handful of people are still alive. I think it's safe to say Minerva's staying here. I can die with a little less guilt knowing that Murray and that woman are stuck here, at least for the time being. I hope someone finds this mess and figures out how to fix a royal screw-up. I mean, I sure as hell would be curious to know why MPO vanished overnight. This probably means you, buddy. After you pull that switch, take the blueprint that deposits in the mainframe container on opposite side of the mainframe. Don't lose it. Follow the plan. The last bit is separated from the rest of the text, but undated. Left notes on terminal by gate. Good luck. Goodbye. Okay, so I get the purification data. The blueprint contained data for manufacturing purification oxygen filters and temperature regulators. So I have to get this data back, research it, make special actual purification modules, and install them throughout MPO. I have to do this while everything is working double time because I can't shut down that machine. So everything's gone haywire. And that room there with the airlock seems to be where Murray and my wife are likely being contained as giant monsters. Lovely. I'm gonna kill Murray. Hopefully I don't have to kill my wife. I'm probably gonna kill Murray one way or the other. Even if I find a way to turn him into human if he isn't human anymore, I'm probably gonna kill Murray. I doubt that's gonna be an option though. I'm probably just gonna have to kill him. As a monster. Anyway. This is it. Let's see where this goes. I believe it'll take me back to Central. That was a lot of story. That was the story I was looking for throughout this game. I am so glad I finally got it. Ultra bandage, metal composite, aplanite, shotgun. Okay, lost research scheme done and production done on my way. Alright. I'm gonna have to act fast though. Thankfully, I know where everything is because I cleared every floor thoroughly this time, so I don't think I'm doomed. Even with the double infection rate, I should be able to go in and handle everything. What the? This comes in up here? Okay. Opens or closes. Okay, I want it open. What the? This is in the Herbert research. This brought me back to Herbert research. I guess it's kind of nice of them. They're like, hey, by the way, you want to get started on that research now, because otherwise you're dead. You may be dead anyway. Get out of my way. Okay, I'm gonna have to stop this from researching wherever it's researching right now. Because, well, okay, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's this one. Oh, okay, it's the one that I'm not even using anyway. Purification data. It's gonna take 9 hours. Well, my guy's rest. So by the time I get rested, that should be done. I can start manufacturing. Next episode will be me running around MBO like a maniac trying to plug everything in. And not die. Not dying is a big part of that plan. Then after that, I'm guessing that'll take 1 episode to plug everything in. And then my last episode will probably be after that. Taking on the bosses or whatever. Finishing this. Because I don't think I'm going to take the time to manufacture everything, research everything after all. It's not worth my time. It takes too long, too many resources. It's just a mess. So, yeah. Hope that doesn't disappoint anyone. I was thinking maybe I could do it, but this metal composite is just too much of a pain to get. And I need to be able to make stuff. Okay. Yeah, I've got battle suit, but it costs a lot to make it. And it's not even the top armor yet. I'm just sticking with the MK3 Mobility Plus Plus. I'm guessing the battle suit can get up to Mobility Plus Plus Plus, but I have to probably upgrade it twice more. Research, everything is done. Anyway, I think that's all I can really do with this right now. I'm happy with this. I hope you guys are good with it. Because, yeah. This is going to take a long time to work it all out, probably. Oops, just dropped on the ground. I don't care. But I've got some excellent medical supplies. In fact, I'm going to... Well, I'll leave those there for now. I don't need them yet. I will take these and put them in here so that they're being used. Got refine stuff. That and that. That's still working. That's still working. So that's all continuing on. Yeah, everything's in order. It's just a matter of waiting now. Getting the purification data researched, making the purification filters, plugging them all in. So I'll get that done off camera, and I'll see you when I'm ready to run. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I love this episode because I finally got answers. Oh, at least some answers. Really got way into the story now. But anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.